The Rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.
Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. The reason that I can say that is you have a couple of different factors occurring right now as we speak on the world stage. The dollar is being disrupted. Nations are no longer wanting to engage with the United States. But the third factor that affects each and every one of us is that there is a diaspora from the African continent that's willing and able to engage our brothers and sisters on the continent.
All right, here we go. Shalom, salama, Yemi, shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. Welcome. I welcome you all. All is welcomed. And I really do mean that, especially with the for those that have been on this channel, I tell you, look, Gentiles are welcome too. Never said that they weren't welcome. But there was going to come a time to where they were going to have to wake up. They can try to elicit and initiate as many people as they were able to on their payrolls to try to do what they do best and hide and obscure and obfuscate the truth. But the reality is that everything is going to come to pass just as the Most High said it. So they weren't really fighting against us. And I wanted to make sure that our people realize that. And I know that that emotional component there and how they always tried to frame things, you're not you're not fighting against us. You may not like us because of who we are, because at the end of the day, it was never about us. It was always about him. And what that does and what these times have done, it has really exposed their hearts. Because at the end of the day, they can't run away from what's happening. And also at the end of the day, they're going to be eventually swept up into everything that they thought was going to benefit them. It's going to turn around and harm them way more than they thought that it was going to, than what they could have imagined. And you see that right now with some of them saying, "Hey, you need to stand up for us. You need to fight for us." Oh, before I get started, shout out to J Zero. I gotta share this clip. This was from yesterday. Let me start this on over. I cannot do the music, but this is the impersonating the fentanyl fold, the Fenty fold. I'm sorry. I still had a I still had a bit of a laugh on that one. But at the end of the day, I guess it was all smoke and mirrors. Now, I want to talk about something more, I guess, what we see right now happening. And that has been the Board of Peace. What do they say? Peace, peace, and sudden or then destruction, or there's peace when there has been no peace. Look, you can go through First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. But I want to come down here into the Old Testament. And there's a reason why I like to go into Jeremiah, because when you're looking at Obadiah, when you're looking at all of the prophecies of how our captivity ends, well, for the oppressor, as the word has declared, well, everything that has been done to us will be done to them double. And that double is something that, shalom, Brother Calvin, I pray all is doing well. Shalom. I pray that we see and understand that what they're trying to do, in my opinion, of this board of safety is that they're trying to create this disillusionment, and it's still going on right now as we speak. So that's why I don't want to really, I can't say much to it, but I'm going to report um as best as I can. Now, this is Al Jazeera reporting, and I'll share this video. Al Jazeera. Let me get this on up for you all. Says here live, Trump launches board of peace with signing ceremony. U.S. President Donald Trump has launched his so-called board of peace, a body for resolving international conflicts with the billion-dollar price tag for permanent membership. The board was originally conceived to oversee the rebuilding of Gaza, but a draft of the charter does not appear to limit its role to the Palestinian territory. A senior White House official said on Wednesday that about 35 world leaders have so far committed to joining the Board of Peace out of the 50 or so invitations. These include Middle East allies such as Israel, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Jordan, Qatar, and Egypt, NATO members Turkey and Hungary, those are whose nationalist leaders have cultivated good personal ties with Trump, have also agreed to take part, as have Morocco, Pakistan, Indonesia, Kosovo, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Paraguay, and Vietnam. Conflicts. $1 billion price tag for permanent membership. Honestly, I don't know what to make of that. It's like going to Davos in the World Economic Forum, and then at Davos, you're telling people in the World Economic Forum, well, I'm doing my own thing, I'm launching it here. That just seems doesn't that seem in like bad taste? That's like ill repute to me. Hey, I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna launch and do my own thing. What? That's what the whole like World Economic Forum is for, the World Trade Organization, the UN, the UN. So what that means to say is then all of these international frameworks have been voided. Oh yeah, and to join this team, you need to ante up $1 billion. $1 billion for some of these folks, they're not going to be able to pay that in a year. They'll have to break that up. That may be their whole national GDP. Now, I know that folks are committed. That doesn't mean that they'll formally accept. This is always it's an age of so I'm sorry, but now you're kind of seeing this. This is an age of appeasement. Hey, they're dying anyway, so wink wink, just make them as comfortable as possible. They're dying anyway. So just say, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, grandpa. Sure, grandma. Yeah, we'll do what you need us to do. Yeah, some of these monthly installments are going to be centuries. But I have to really, excuse me, family, I got to be drinking this tea. I'm trying to have my voice keep up. Boy. I have to really wonder, especially when I'm seeing things like this. Again, as I had stated this, I don't know how much time we have. But again, all I can say is please pay particularly close attention to how they move. Supposedly, Greenland has been, for all intents and purposes, ceded over to the U.S. However, the ability to have Greenland now has most conventional U.S. ammunitions, missiles, ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles within striking range of Russia, particularly Moscow. They were able to inch that much closer in their quote unquote golden dome. Now, the question to me is this: remember how literally the war in Ukraine started 5 years ago? Does anybody remember that? We got to walk down memory lane. The war in Ukraine started because you had Zelensky make formal declarations that Ukraine was getting ready to, excuse me, it's 4 years ago, not 5, 4 years ago. But we could say 5 because this all started around early 2021 is when Biden took office. Biden's whole thing was Ukraine is going to be the 33rd member of NATO. And they were working that up. You had buildups, you had Poland, this, and you had other countries, Finland, Estonia, you had Latvia. They were all, hey, yeah. Everybody could see that that was the cover for the U.S. We were talking about that here, literally on this channel. Gosh, 4 years ago. Like, yeah, they're about to enter a proxy war because then, as soon as that happened, you started to see a major buildup in Russian forces. And I was saying this, I said, you're seeing a buildup in the Russian forces. And they're talking about exercises. It's just an exercise. It's just an exercise. It's just an exercise. In February that year, I believe it was around February 8th, if I'm not mistaken, or a little after. It was right, like literally right after the Olympics. As the Olympics were literally closing on out. What happens this year? Oh, the Olympics. Oh, they're going to sign their deal, their agreement. You already know that they already have. More than likely, let's just call it what it is. More than likely, they either already have nuclear capable payloads, missiles for the nuclear payload, and they more than likely have nuclear materials for weaponizing that payload. And now it is literally within striking distance to Russia. No, we don't have the systems there. And then it's just, okay, call it on over, screw it on in. Yep, there you go. Now you're armed. You take out the projectile, the armament, well, then now you're not armed. It really is that simple. When I started off in the Marine Corps, my first job was an ammunition technician. We had different pieces to make sure and to keep things inert, which means not in a state that it can be detonated. When you link things together, that then becomes active. It's no longer inert, it's live, which means that if you are not handling the ammunition properly, you can cause a static charge and create a combustible situation that could leave you dead. I've been to these depots, these ammunition depots. Over in NATO countries, because you have to make sure that you are maintaining the ammunition. Ammunition will go bad. So they have little things that will tell you. And if it goes bad, well then you gotta put in the order for another lot. So again, they already have a base on Greenland, a U.S. base. I would assume it's probably like some sort of an Air Force base or an auxiliary base. Basically, they'll use the country's base, but it's really U.S. focused, U.S. centric, kind of like Aludade. Technically, Aludade is Qatar's air base. However, it's like 10% Qatar, 90% U.S. I'd imagine that that's more than likely the same scenario in Greenland. But this time was different because this was a very big flex on a really European, Caucasian based country. So all of that's happening with the Board of Peace going on in the backdrop, which to me actually means they're not looking for peace. It could actually signal they're really trying to get things started very quickly. That's a signal. And when people say, "Oh, it'll take a few," no, they already have the components there. But what they wanted there was to remove the language and more than likely their acquisition cross service agreement that these countries signed. Hey, you can do all this, all this, all this, except that. Because why? What it is countries don't want to have their national territory or, their integrity messed up. Remember, you had the same thing that took place in Qatar. Right after everything went down, Qatar was threatening to kick out the United States back in after June. Now, they had to have that show because, again, a lot of Qataris were in the crosshairs. A lot of neighborhoods actually did experience falling missile debris from rockets and things of that nature. So you have to appease the local population. And now, and potentially 48 hours. I'm not saying that it would be. I still believe that they're still trying to build up forces in in the Middle East to hit them by at least spring. We're within definitely a 60-day window, just in my opinion. There'll be more hardline talk. You need to get on board with peace, blah, blah, blah. We create a board of peace, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? You're not peaceful, blah, blah, blah. So we need to remove you so we can have peace. Do you see that? It's a real simple game. All the while, they're moving in on Russia and they're waiting for a season in China because of how the waters flow. Say that again. What is that? Daniel chapter? I think that this is chapter 7 or 8. By the way of peace, he shall destroy many. Let me share this. Jeremiah 6. O ye children of Benjamin, gather yourself to flee out of the midst of Jerusalem and blow the trumpet in Tekoa and set up a sign of fire in Bethakasserim. For evil appeareth out of the north in great destruction. Do unto do unto them as they have done unto other to so many. Isn't that Obadiah? That's Obadiah. But I look at all this because everything that has been done to us, it's the type and shadow. Because remember, think about what you're seeing. I told you at family, this is the mirror. We could talk about white supremacy. We could talk about vanity. I'm sorry, family. If you didn't know, this is how our forefathers acted. You want to get punched to the gut? You want to get kicked in the core? This is how our forefathers acted. One of the things the Most High does, he has to show you everything. He has to show you you. Oh, you want to come out of this captivity? Okay. Okay, but when you come out of this captivity, keep in mind, you're going to see every single thing that your forefathers did and why you made it here and why you're getting ready to get up on out of here. Keep this in mind. Take this to heart. Understand. Pay attention. We serve a merciful Father, but with his mercies, we have to learn and be instructed. That's wisdom. We're not just going to not learn. He's saying now you got to take a look at everything and see everything and experience everything, because when you come up out of this captivity, you know I'm not playing. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. The shepherds with their flocks shall come unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her round about. They shall feed everyone in his place. Why? They're doing the same thing. This is Babylon wanted to be like us. Didn't we read that with the king? I believe Hezekiah, if I'm not mistaken. He opened up his storehouse. He opened up the rooms. He showed Babylon. He showed the king of Babylon, that, excuse me, the emissaries, the envoy. Hey, take a look. The word was showing you what MTV Cribs was all about before it was actually a TV show. Exhibit was showing you how our forefathers looked. Yeah, come on in here, take a look, take a look at my spot. Yeah, I got this right here. I got the room right here. I got this, I got that. You want to see the floor plans? Oh, I got that right there. This is where I have my little safe room, just in case things get heavy. Oh, this is where I have my little, I put my little armament right here, just in case I need to get that fire, to get them pew pews. Yeah, I'll send on over my architect's design. Yeah, you got it. You got it, man. That was everything that we did. That's what led us to this captivity. And unfortunately, we have to understand that the humility, the meek that shall inherit the earth have to have a retrospect. They have to introspect. They have to look and see and understand how the Most High needs us to walk and talk and move in this very day, in this very hour. Jeremiah 6. The shepherds with their flocks shall come unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her round about. They shall feed everyone in his place. Prepare ye war against her. Arise and let us go up at noon. Woe unto us, for the day goeth away, for the shadows of the evening are stretched out. Arise and let us go by night. Let us destroy her places. Wait a second. This is Jeremiah 6. Remember, Jeremiah 50 and 51 is talking about the destruction of Babylon. This is the archetype right here. Understand, Trump was always mad because Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize and he did it. No, it's so much more. It's so much more to that. It looks like that in the physical, but there's a spiritual component to this. They want to be like who? Like us. They want to use the unauthorized power that they never had. They wanted to replace, but they never could. They wanted to act as though they've had a covenant that they've never had with Yahuwah. This is real deep. Everything that you're seeing is a spiritual manifestation of what our people have been going through for well over 2,500 years and longer. Jeremiah 6 and 6. For thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, hew ye down trees and cast them out against Jerusalem. This is the city to be visited. She is holy oppression in the midst of her. She is holy oppression in the midst of her. Why? Because we had oppressed so much, so many. Do unto others as they have done unto you. Do unto her as she has done unto so many. That's Obadiah. Oh, well, Judah had oppressed, so we're going to oppress even more. Judah did this, so we're going to do that. Obama did this, we're going to do that. Just giving you that impression, just giving you that understanding. That's what they use as their figurehead of us. Which is so wrong on so many levels, but understand that that's the idol or standard that they had set up for our people. As the fountain casteth out her water, so she casteth out her wickedness. Violence and spoil is heard in her. Before me continually is grief and wounds. Why? Because we had the covenant. We were the ones that was making the Most High angry. Now, is Babylon making the Most High angry? Yes. Yes, he is. Excuse me. Yes, she is, or whatever. Whatever androgynous creature this is. But the reality is that we're just in the wilderness. But the fact of the matter is, Babylon has been oppressing an oppressing sword against the Most High's people. So the calculus is that he's actually even angrier. Hey, had you teach him a lesson, but you went too far. And now the nations of the whole earth are going to be coming against her. The nations. Jeremiah 6 and 8. Be thou instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from thee, lest I make thee desolate, a land not inhabited. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine. Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer into the baskets. To whom shall I speak and give warning that they may hear? Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of Yahuwah is unto them a reproach. They have no delight. Therefore, I am full of the fury of Yahuwah. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children abroad and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with his wife, with the wife, shall be taken. The age with him that is full of days, and their houses shall be turned unto others with their fields and wives together. For I will stretch out my hand upon the inhabitants of the land, saith Yahuwah. That has happened. For from the least of them even unto the greatest of them, everyone is given to covetousness. And from the prophet even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely. They have they have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. We're good, we're good. There's no peace. I had on the thumbnail here this article, this story. I wanted to get to this. I'm going to put this in the chat here. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. So I put this article here in the chat. But before I go to this article, I want to jump over here. All right. I got to put this on over here. This is from the CDC. Okay. This doesn't come from me. This isn't made up. CDC. Because I need to focus this real quick so you all can see exactly where I'm coming from. Let me share this. CDC Genomics and Your Health. This is Epigenetics, Health, and Disease, okay? January 31st, 2025. But I just want to go, these are some key points. Epigenetic refers to the way your behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Epigenetics turns genes on and off. Your epigenetics change as you age, both as a normal part of normal development and aging, and because of exposure to environmental factors. Keyword: environmental factors that happen over the course of your life. You know, the funny thing is that your body creates a literal living record that will pass down. You know, I was, it's funny, I had this, I was talking about this with a friend of mine last year, and he was saying, yeah, they did a study with rats, and what they did was that with the rats, they created a negative impulse towards a certain item. And what ended up happening was that even a couple generations away, the mice, or yeah, the mice or the rats, whatever there was, they would still have a negative impulse towards that same item, even though they may not have ever seen or had contact or really understood what that was. It was just that it was sequenced in the DNA. And I'm leading with that because I want to turn to this article here. This article is from the AP by Rebecca Santana as of yesterday, January 21st. The article is Immigration Officers Assert Sweeping Power to Enter Homes Without a Judge's Warrant, memo says. Federal immigration officers are asserting sweeping power to forcibly enter people's homes without a judge's warrant, according to an internal Immigration and Customs Enforcement memo obtained by the Associated Press, marking a sharp reversal of longstanding guidance meant to respect constitutional limits on government searches. The memo authorizes ICE officers to use force to enter a residence based solely on a more narrow administrative warrant to arrest someone with a final order of removal or move that advocates say collides with Fourth Amendment protection and upends years of advice given to immigrant communities. So what does that mean exactly? Why do I go back to the epigenetics? Because again, when you see this picture, to me, this picture is something that is seared into our memories, our genes. If you one day have AI be able to look at our DNA sequencing and it provides graphical audio representation of what we have experienced through our eyes of our ancestors, I guarantee you we would be seeing atrocities after atrocities from all the curses that have been laid on us even until now. This is what we have been through. This isn't the first time. This is actually over a series. You want us here, you want us gone. You want us here, you want us gone. I was talking to Sister Chantel and Brother Asaph last weekend, and the whole wind rush thing, all this stuff going on. They want us here, they want us gone. They want us to build, they mess it on up, and then they bring us on back with wind rush in the West Indies and India. All of these work programs and peonage laws that we had to endure post Reconstruction era. They're going through another, not just they, but we're going through another Inquisition period. This had to be a little bit more nuanced and subtle because of the fact that we understand a little bit more, especially in this group, especially in this community, which is why we're a target. We are a target. Oh, no knock warrant. Oh, well, at this residence, we had an illegal alien, an illegal immigrant, an illegal. We assumed that that person was you, Alejandro Martinez Sopa Rodriguez Quinones Estaval. What? I don't even know those names. Yeah, but somebody used your address. Uh-oh. Here comes the good old slippery slope. How many of us have seen mail that we've received and it had somebody else's name on it? You don't even know. I don't know this person. That's going to be an easy mismatch. Do you now know why they were going through the Social Security Administration? Getting names and addresses. We'll just change that here. We'll change that there. We'll do that here. Here comes arbitrating, arbitrative detentions. And yes, Pastor Rick Fletcher, no longer safe in your own home. The precedent has now been set. Yes, it has. Oh, you know this is all a lead up. I was telling you what this lead up was going to. But again, it's very convenient just to sit. Oh, that's never going to happen. That won't happen until it happens. a new sophisticated inquisition that's occurring. And it is happening in front of our faces as we speak. So again, there's peace. They're saying peace, peace. There is no peace. Peace and safety and sudden destruction. See, the reality is that when you're saying peace without Yahuwah, that's not peace, it's chaos. You can't have peace when you're trying to operate in wickedness and not in righteousness. It doesn't work. So, family, the time is now. What are you going to do? What's your answer? How are you going to respond? Yeah, prayer is power. It does. But here's the awesome thing: the Most High gives us ideas and witty inventions. He does. There are things that we're doing in the background to help support our people because not a lot of our people have the means to get up on out of here. But there's going to be a time, there's going to be a space because I guarantee you that as this happens and begins to happen to our people, we're going to begin to cry out. And you know our people. We'll have a national day of prayer and fasting, followed by we shall overcome. You can pray as long as you don't use Yah or Yahuwah or pray in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. That's what they're saying. No matter what, the Most High is forcing us to cry out to Him. Yeah, this pain is going to be real for all of us. But it is the Most High that makes a way. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahuwah delivers them from them all. Hallelujah. If you'd like to support this channel, family, you can do so. $ COVAWK1. You can also support via PayPal or Zelle at karasi@msn.com. Thank you, family, for your support. Again, honestly, like I stated last year, year before, but even right now, I really don't know how much longer we have. And that's not an understatement. It's not an exaggeration or anything else. They're showing this in front of you what their timeline is. So again, I'm going to do what the Most High has instructed me to do. We got projects and things going on at q2ua.org. Please check that on out. We have a mission to help support our community. We're working both on the continent and here at home and in the diaspora. The family, this is the time. This is now. And I don't know what else, what other catalyst to say it, But they're letting you know, especially with that border peace, we ain't got much longer. So, hallelujah. So, with that said, family, most time willing, I will see you all next week. If something does pop off with Iran, of course, I will be on this weekend. Just saying. So, with that said, family, shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, peace and blessings, Yasharel.